by Schneider Electric Smart Home Solutions. The loud slogans of vote chori at rallies and mics blaring allegations at press conferences seem to have gone silent today. Posts taken down in a massive social media cleanup drive across the Congress party. Why? Because the only external validation of the Maharashtra voter theft campaign has been proven to be false now. CSDS's Sanjay Kumar's social media post referring to massive swings in numbers of electors on some seats between Lok Sabha and Assembly polls in Maharashtra has been taken down or deleted. He clarified the error occurred by their data team, but by then the damage had been done. Congress leaders also had to take down their posts quoting that data. And with that, BJP has got another handle to trash all of the allegations Rahul Gandhi has been making on voter theft. So far, there is no clear validation to these claims. ECI has already warned that Rahul will have to apologize unless he provides proof within a week. So will he do so now? Very unlikely. But is the Congress campaign losing steam well before Bihar elections? Remember, all of this is tied to the SIR as well. We'll take that with our guest joining us in just a bit. The vote chori debate. Is this campaign really devoid of the numbers that it needs? Even the only external validation has now been taken away. So where is this campaign going is our first debate. We also focus on the India-China ties reset, or is it? Just how much can India trust China despite the global environment today pushing these two countries together? And finally, we'll also get you the latest pictures of the monsoon chaos in Mumbai. Yet another year, yet another same story. First up, these are the set of two tweets that were published by Sanjay Kumar of CSDS on August 17, just a couple of days ago. He mentioned 4 seats from Maharashtra, 2 that according to the set tweets had massive drop in electors and 2 that had a huge rise, including Nashik West, where he claimed from 32 lakh electors, in fact 3.2 lakh electors from Lok Sabha, the numbers rose to 4.8 lakhs, which is just in 6 months. This data was then reused by many Congress leaders to buttress their point that there were unprecedented rise and fall in electors on many seats in Maharashtra between the Lok Sabha and the Assembly elections. These tweets quoting Ramtek, Devlali, Nashik West and Hingna, 4 constituencies, have since been deleted. Sanjay Kumar today deleted these tweets, tendering an apology and accepting that there was an error in comparing the data from 2024 Lok Sabha elections to 2024 Assembly elections. This triggered a massive row, with BJP alleging that all of Congress and Rahul Gandhi's claims have been based on lies and none of their allegations on Maharashtra have been proven. So he said, I sincerely apologize for the tweets posted regarding Maharashtra elections. The tweet has been removed, but I had no intention of dispersing any form of misinformation. Now, what are these claims that Rahul Gandhi has made on Maharashtra? Here's a breakdown of some of the most important ones. Congress had alleged that NDA won 47 out of 50 assembly seats, where there was an unprecedented increase in the number of voters by around 50,000. The poll body clarified there are only 6 assembly constituencies in the entire state that had total additions of over 50,000 between the Lok Sabha and the Assembly. On the charge of 72 lakh voters added in total in a short span of time, the EC has already clarified that the number of electors added is actually 40 lakhs plus, including many from the young age group of 18 to 19, so first-time voters. Rahul Gandhi had also earlier alleged that more adults voted in Maharashtra than are living in the state. The EC data has clarified that there are 9.7 crore plus voters registered, out of which 6.4 crores voted. On the charge of abnormal voting post 5 p.m., EC has already clarified that average turnout post 5 p.m. is less than the turnout during the daytime. Earlier in the day, Supreme Court also rejected a plea to cancel Maharashtra polls over bogus voters' claim. The Supreme Court refused to intervene in a Bombay High Court ruling. The bench, in fact, questioned the locus standi of the petitioner. Earlier, a petition challenging the validity of the Maharashtra Assembly elections filed by a Vikhroli voter had been dismissed by the Bombay HC. The petitioner had claimed that over 76 lakh votes were cast after 6 p.m. itself. without proper oversight by the Election Commission. The High Court had previously termed the petition a gross abuse of the process of law and questioned petitioners' legal standing to challenge the entire election process across over 250 constituencies. Now, with this latest episode turning out to be an embarrassment for those who may be trying to allege that something has gone wrong in Maharashtra, including, of course, the Congress party and its top face Rahul Gandhi, is this a campaign without numbers? That debate is coming up.
महाराष्ट्र में we found at the state level that Lok Sabha और विधान सभा के बीच में 1 crore new voters came into the game.
ये फेकरी और प्रोपेगेंडा के पिनोकियो है, पिनोकियो ऑफ इंडियन पॉलिटिक्स है और एलओपी का मतलब बन चुका है लीडर ऑफ प्रोपेगेंडा।
हलफनामा देना होगा या देश से माफी मांगनी होगी, तीसरा विकल्प नहीं है।
Let's go across to our guest joining us, RP Singh, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Saral Patel from the Congress Party, R. Rajagopalan and Sanjeev Srivastava, Senior Journalist, also with us on the show. Saral, I begin with you. There doesn't seem to be any kind of validation in numbers of any of the charges that Congress Party had begun to make first in Maharashtra, then it went on to Bengaluru Central. But focusing on Maharashtra, even these tweets that were made a couple of days ago have now been retracted. In other words, there is no data to suggest that any of the charges made by Rahul Gandhi actually stand the test of time.
Shivani, elections are not magic shows where voters, do not vanish like rabbits in a hat. But what we are witnessing in Bihar and currently is the political illusion designed to deceive the democracy itself. Coming back to the data that you quoted of CSDS, Congress party, the Rahul Gandhi held his press conference on 7th August.
Yeah.
CSDS put out its data on 17th August. Rahul Gandhi never relied on any third party data.
But there is no external validation. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying something very different. There is no external validation of the claims that have been made in Maharashtra. And I want you to keep it separate with Bihar SIR and with the Mahadevpura issue. We'll keep that separate. The press conference was on Mahadevpura issue. So we'll keep it separate. On Maharashtra, there is no data point that proves that there was anything unprecedented going on.
So this is a very peculiar situation where, evidence is being locked away by EC instead of the culprits. So why is EC interested in silencing Rahul Gandhi instead of safeguarding the process of elections and republic, right? If there's, let's say, the data presented by Rahul Gandhi is completely false, EC should release the machine-readable format data of the Mahadevpura assembly segment.
No, you're
of
talking
Bengaluru
about
Lok Sabha
Mahadevpura,
seat.
please. Saral, I must insist. Let's keep these three things different. Maharashtra
Shivani,
was the first set of allegations.
Rahul Gandhi never spoke about CSDS data.
No, that's
so
fine.
Why are you
but there
clubbing
isn't
that
any
with what
data.
Rahul Gandhi
If there was
said?
ever any external
So that is what I'm
Congress
saying,
leaders
that
have
our
tweeted
data,
about this data. And they have used this data to suggest that the allegations that were made in Maharashtra were accurate. The precise allegations in Maharashtra was that too many voters were added or subtracted from constituencies with a particular aim to favor the BJP. So BJP voters were added while other parties' voters were deleted. Arbitrary deletions were done. That was the contention that Rahul Gandhi had made. I am asking you very clearly, is there a single data that was quoted by the Congress party that has not been debunked today?
Shivani, have you asked all your questions? Can I respond now?
Yeah, please, on
without
Maharashtra.
interruptions. Yes. On the data that we have quoted, we have only quoted the EC data of Bengaluru Central Lok Sabha seat, which we received in 3 piles of 7 feet of physical data. Now, coming back to what you are saying, we have never quoted CSDS data. Rahul Gandhi has never quoted CSDS data.
You know, there is a Congress letter I can quote. See, Saral, if you're not if you're going to try and hoodwink me and, you know, try and beat around the bush, I can quote the Congress letter on Maharashtra alleged irregularities that were sent to the EC. And that data claimed...
That was sent. Can you please quote the date first of that letter?
So how does it matter? Now it's old, so Congress party is not sticking to it?
No. So why are you questioning, why are you clubbing that with CSDS data? We have nothing to do with CSDS data.
Because the CSDS data is on Maharashtra. That CSDS data has been quoted by other Congress leaders.
No, Shivani, listen to me. If Shivani says Saral Patel is wearing a blue t-shirt, whereas I am wearing a light pink t-shirt, does that make me a liar? No. Your data, what you said, has been debunked. No, it has nothing to do with me. So CSDS is a third agency, third party, and there whatever has been debunked, the government should initiate a legal action against them. They should file an FIR.
I'm asking you the larger question. I'm not saying that the CSDS data predates the Rahul Gandhi allegations.
Stop attributing a third party's finding to the Congress party.
Because
Congress
you quoted
party,
it, then you quoted it to say that, see, this proves our allegations of voter theft in Maharashtra.
CSDS data. Every legal submission that we have made to EC
every legal
is based
submission.
on the
Okay,
data
all right. I like
EC
that you
itself,
make that distinction, that every legal submission you have made versus the tweets you have made on social media have not quoted CSDS. But I may remind and I request our producer to please run that graphics about the claims. One second. The claims that Rahul Gandhi had made on the electoral results in Maharashtra versus the clarifications that have come months ago by the EC. But for some reason, the Congress party is not willing to accept that, okay, we didn't have the numbers right in Maharashtra. On that basis, the SIR campaign was launched. On the SIR campaign, then the Mahadevpura Karnataka campaign was launched. But let me take this to... Sir, I'll come back to you. Sir, I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. RP Singh, the point that the Congress spokesperson is making is also accurate. As far as the allegations that have been made by the Congress party in Bengaluru Central or in Bihar or largely in Maharashtra, none of them were based on the CSDS data. So when the BJP today says, oh, all of your allegations have been proven to be untrue, that's also not true.
Well, but Shivani, Congress leaders have been quoting CSDS data from yesterday.
Yeah, only for the last 2 days. This campaign of theirs has been going on for 2 months.
Yeah. Give me a second. I accept it. Give me a second. Let me complete my sentence. But let's talk about the data. I'll quote you some data. In Assembly Seat number 149, Mumra Kalwa, the votes increased by 41,663. The NCP Jitendra Awhad won by 96,228. Not us vote. There was vote increase. Seat number 137, Bhavandi East. The seat was won by Congress by 37,535 votes. Let me take you further. Seat number 197, the voters were increased by 23,989. The UBT, the Shiv Sena UBT won the seat by 51,743 votes. Seat number 196, Prabhani, the voters were increased by some 15,162 seats. The seat was won by UPT again. Seat number 247, Mahol, Shirulka seat, reserve seat, votes were increased by 11,650 votes. Seat was again won by NCP Sharad Pawar.
Right.
There is complete list of such seats where voters has increased, and then these seats were won by the Congress or Shiv Sena UBT or by NCP. So their claim fall flat. But also, they have tried their best in High Court. They went to Supreme Court. The Supreme Court just sent this to trash. This is all absurd. And he's asking the basic validity of the person, his authenticity of the person, that who are you to ask questions. But there is environment being created. Shivani, it's not the vote increase or vote decrease. Just before the Telangana election, Mr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi was asking for 70 lakh voters to be deleted. 70 lakh voters to be deleted just before the Telangana election, and 22 lakh voters were deleted from the voters roll in Telangana. Mr. Reddy was clapping and appreciating and was praising the election commission for that. 5,41,000 votes were deleted in Hyderabad. Mr. OSC won even after that, just before the parliament election. So this is a process. It's not a static process, it's a dynamic process.
Okay.
Election rules cannot be static. I mean, today it is decided, so it will stay on for next 5 years. No. The people keep coming, going, they keep, the people die also. So this is a very normal, natural phenomena.
Okay.
But actual problem is not voter list. Give me a second, 5 seconds, 5 seconds. The actual problem is not voter list. Problem is they know they are bound to lose a Bihar election, and since they can't defeat Prime Minister Modi through vote, so try to create anarchism. The leader is on record saying that will create situation like Bangladesh.
Okay. I want to go across. Saral, I'll come back to you when I have time. Two of our guests have not spoken. Sanjeev Srivastav, I'm coming to you. Do you feel that more numbers need to be able to be verified externally by independent agencies, by media, before the Congress campaign can gain certain credibility? As of now, all of the numbers are in the air. Many of them have been refuted by the EC. It doesn't seem to be going anywhere, at least as far as facts are concerned.
Okay. Very good evening, Shivani and Saral, R.P. Singh, Mr. Rajgopalan. So first of all, my request would be to give me as uninterrupted a run for my 30-40 seconds as you have given R.P. Singh, and not to treat me like Saral, that constant interruptions. I have a limited issue. I don't believe Rahul Gandhi. Okay, fine. Agreed, conceded. He is leader of the opposition. He has raised a number of serious issues. There is no way that the head of a constitutional body like the CEC should take on a confrontation with him, threaten him, either you apologize or sign an affidavit. He has raised 6 questions on Mahadevpura. And you cannot say, Shivani, that we should discuss Maharashtra and not Mahadevpura and not Bihar. Well,
no, I said let's keep them separate. We have you have been on my shows where we have discussed all of them.
Yeah. So what I am trying to say is, okay, he's completely wrong on Maharashtra. Let us forget, move on. And once we move on, where do we land? We land in SIR, Bihar. We land in Mahadevpura. He has raised certain questions. And why the election commission of the largest democracy in the world, the most tech-savvy country in the world, emerging superpower, 4th largest economy, huge demographics, great talent pool. Why can't we have machine-readable formats for voter rolls? Why can't we keep video footage? So, answer all the questions, Election Commission, we will trust you. But you should not threaten people who are asking questions. You should be civil, nice, answer point by point all the issues raised. Period. The issue will be settled. I don't know, there will be no need for any debates on any television channel.
So you're saying let's forget Maharashtra today, a political party. One second. Yeah, you're saying a political party lost a certain election.
I have conceded.
No, you conceding is hardly anything. I am posing the question to the Congress party.
But right
the Congress party ran the entire election.
Me, not Rahul Gandhi on your show.
No, hopefully one day, who knows. But I am saying a political party completely ran down the election of a major state because they lost that election. And they said, oh, there's no way that we could have lost given our Lok Sabha numbers. Today you're saying, okay, fine, that was a hit and a miss. Let's forget it. Now let's focus on Mahadevpura and let's focus on Bihar. I also like it, Sanjeev. Things happen.
Because Shivani, because he did not make as detailed a case on Maharashtra as he has on Mahadevpura. And I'm still not saying that on Mahadevpura also he is right. But the nation, at least we, deserve answers from Election Commission. Why should Election Commission be pulling out a sword and seem to be threatening and,
maybe it's tit for tat because Rahul Gandhi has also said that we are going to come for you, we are not going to leave you, even after you retire, we will find you. Okay.
So what is wrong with that? People who have not retired and people in opposition, they are being found every day by the BJP. You never question that. This man is only threatening from the street.
No, so
Fine,
let the
it's
other
not a
person
good
respond.
thing to
I'm
say,
not quite
but is it
liking
good
the
for-
unlevel
but
playing
is it-
field
but
where
is it
you're
good
saying
for
an elected
CEC?
representative can
come out-
attack an EC official, but the EC official cannot give it back.
Madam, CEC is an official and it's a constitutional post. He is a man of the public. He represents people, and if the CEC insists that this election commission stands for people, then he better reply properly to the leader of opposition who represents a substantial chunk of people in the country.
Okay.
Shivani,
Yes, Rajagopalan has been
Is that-
waiting. Rajagopalan,
is that an
Sanjeev
unfair,
Shivani,
Sanjeev Srivastava,
Shivani,
I'm coming back to all of us. Sir, listen to my question. Sanjeev Srivastava is also saying that, there is so much technology today. Why can't we have machine readable? There can also be an argument that there is so much technology today, then why are parties opposing the SIR exercise in Bihar on the pretext that we cannot get it done in due amount of time, even though the EC has shown demonstrably that they can complete the exercise. The Supreme Court has not heard any of the contentions that the opposition parties or those opposing the exercise have made. So, arguments can be made both sides.
No, that's not
you are
true.
asking me?
Yes,
Simple thing
Rajagopalan.
Yeah, my answer is, Mr. Rahul Gandhi upon the election commission on treason. You are a treachery. We will chase you. India will burn. This is the anger. Chief Election Commissioner was within his rights when opposition leader can instigate violence in the country, saying treason. The election commissioner asked affidavit. Why
No,
Rahul Gandhi is not filing
I'll take
affidavit?
strong objection to this.
Why? Why?
The gentleman is misquoting the leader of opposition. He has not used the word that country will burn. Please apologize. He
Yes,
has
sir.
not used
No
any such
apology.
word.
No
You are
apology.
misquoting
He said
him.
it in
You are
Parliament. He said it in
misquoting
Parliament.
him.
You
You
keep
are
quiet.
misquoting him.
Okay,
You
let's
are
not make this personal. I think
misquoting-
Mr.
you are
Rahul
misquoting him,
Gandhi.
Mr. Raj
He said
Gopal.
about
Saral, just
country
one
will
second.
flames.
R. Rajagopalan and
He said
Saral
in
Patel,
fire.
I request you
Why
both
should
to
he
please
say
come
that?
down. Can we
After
have all mics
retirement,
down,
they will
please?
go.
One second.
After retirement, we'll check.
One second. Gentlemen, I request you, please have your uninterrupted time. Please don't speak over each other and let's not make this personal. I think Rahul Gandhi did indeed say outside Parliament that an atom bomb will drop if they come out with the numbers. I'm not so sure if he's talked about India burning or not. I haven't heard that, but R. Rajagopalan, let's move on.
The Election Commission is within his rights to ask for an FIR. And Rahul Gandhi has reasons to not to file FIR. Today, the deletion of the tweet, even by the Congress person, Pawan Khera deleted it. What is the answer? Why should they delete it? And second thing, Shivani, EAGLE, the Empowered Action Group of Leaders of Experts, coined by the Congress, they took 6 months. Whereas in the case of Mr. Sanjay Kumar, daily he was coming on television, daily he was telling about this. Congress was influenced by Sanjay Kumar. Therefore, my demand is Maharashtra government should file an FIR against Mr. Sanjay Kumar for deletion of that, delete the tweet, and also take cognizance of vote chori concept.
Okay.
Second thing, I still say Rahul Gandhi should not use the words like treason, treasury, and inside the parliament he said, "मैं kerosene मिट्टी दिला दूंगा, आग लग जाएगा." Even in the advocates meeting he said that. Therefore, you cannot chase a bureaucrat.
Okay.
For Sindoor, one second. For Operation Sindoor, Congress trolled Foreign Secretary. For Election Commission, Congress is trolling Gyanesh Kumar, his daughter, his son, his son-in-law. What is that Congress? Where did Rahul Gandhi learn this 20 years of his experience in the parliament? He is a leader of opposition. He must apologize because he stalled 15 days of parliament because of this vote chori.
Okay, but can I ask you, don't you think it's also a little bit stretching the point, R. Rajagopalan, you go first, then I'll bring in Saral, to suggest that there is some grave international conspiracy, that there is some Milli Bhagat, some conspiracy, everybody is hand in gloves, CSDS is hand in gloves with the Congress party. Is that also not going overboard?
Because Rahul Gandhi travelled 340 times abroad and he was in foreign countries, he said about India, about Indian Muslim League is a secular party, and he also said, why should Manishankar go to Pakistan and say, bring down Narendra Modi government? It is not treachery. Therefore, every reason is there that Congress, according to the BJP tweet, Congress is being funded by foreign powers. Yes, which is in the public domain. Whether they deny it or not, it is for Congress to deny it, not Rajagopalan.
Okay, Saral, what do you make of the charge that all of this is a global agenda to kind of upset or upseat the Indian government, like we have seen in Bangladesh, like we have seen in Pakistan? Whenever you don't have a pliable government, then foreign forces work with domestic forces to do this. That charge has been made against the Congress party because people allege, or your opponents allege, you're trying to erode the credibility of elections itself in India.
Shivani, so before I answer your question, I think you said that someday, Rahul Gandhi ji might be on your show. And definitely, I hope so too. But before that, I think you should also call out the absurd logic given by the ECI in the press conference. Because if BJP were to reward Mr. Gyanesh Gupta and make him INB minister in future, then he might ban all the women anchors in TV studios, because apparently watching women on camera is now a privacy and a crime in the country. So that will only happen
There is something called consent. Saral,
If-
there is something called consent. Did I consent the viewers to watch me on screen right now? And did I consent to viewers watching my CCTV in a poll booth? These are two different things.
Are placed if CCTV.
What is the
See,
Congress
Shivani,
spokesperson
Okay, let him
Shivani.
speak. Saral Patel,
Shivani,
yes.
if you are in public space and if somebody were to access the CCTV footage, they don't need your consent, right? Because
It's not
that
a
is
public space. It's a private activity.
It is a public space. No,
Array,
the
we
polling
depend
booth
on
is a
secret
public
ballot.
space.
The whole thing is based on privacy.
So the ballot is not visible. The only who is going inside the polling booth is visible.
Okay.
There is no CCTV footage, no CCTV camera inside where the vote is being cast. So please do not mislead the viewers. Number one, what Mr. Rajgopalan said and the question that you asked, it's such a stupid question that whenever farmers question something, when farmers question the government, they are Khalistanis. When somebody else questions the government, they are Tukde gang. Some students question the government, they are urban Naxals. So my counter question to Mr. Rajgopalan is,
Mr. Rajgopalan, one by one, please.
Please be quiet.
Yes.
Mr. Rajgopalan is calling the Home Minister of the country incompetent. Amit Shah is incompetent in the other words of Mr. Rajgopalan, because if he is the Home Minister for 5 years, then why is he not investigating and taking action against any Congress leader who is involved against anti-national activities? It shows the incompetence of...
Did Amit Shah say vote chori?
Devani, if you are going to allow me to interrupt, if you are going...
Once
If you are
again,
going to allow me to be interrupted, then I will interrupt all my fellow panelists.
But Saral, I think you've made your point. You're saying it's an absurd allegation to suggest. Okay, go ahead. 30 seconds.
Even half of the time what my friends from the BJP got. Right? So this what the election commission is doing. They have declared voters who are alive in Bihar dead. Rahul Gandhi had chai with them, and election commission on record has said that they are dead. And the Supreme Court had to force them to release the list of 65 lakh people who were deleted. Why did Supreme Court need to force them? EC should have been transparent and say that will publish the list as it is, as we have always done.
Okay,
so
can I ask you a final question before I go across to RP Singh? I have limited time. Can I ask you a question then? Should I take it, Saral, that the Congress party is no longer beating the dead horse of Maharashtra election results? You are only focused on Bihar SIR now? And I don't know, are you focused on Bengaluru Central, Mahadevpura or not?
Can I answer that uninterruptedly?
Yes.
We are focused on each and every assembly seat of the country. We are focused on each and every Lok Sabha seat of the country. When we have the machine readable data, we'll put out the data for each and every this thing. Currently, because of the limitation and how the election commission is hindering us, we have only come out with one set of data. We will, in the due course of time, will come out with more.
Okay. Can I just say, I didn't want to interrupt you then, but on the CCTV issue, the matter has been decided as far as courts are concerned as well. So I think the more honorable thing to do would be to challenge this entire law, The EC has been in front of the court to say that we cannot release CCTV footage because there are privacy concerns. I think if you feel that this is no longer valid in today's world, I don't object to that. It can be challenged, rules can be changed, laws can be changed all the time. As it stands, the EC has stuck to its guns, saying they are not going to release CCTV footages. CCTV footages can be released when there's a legal case via court to the legal challenger within a certain time period. Beyond that, there is no compulsion to release them. Yes. Saral, I don't have time for this. Please, this is not the central point.
10 seconds. Just 10 seconds.
Yes.
The Chandigarh High Court directed EC to release the CCTV footage, and within 48 hours, the government came up with a notification saying that they do not need to. So it's not legal. They changed the rule to stop the publicization.
Okay, I'm sure it can be legally challenged, because other than that, I don't see a resolution to the CCTV issue. That's all I'm saying.
Why can't EC be transparent? Why is
Okay, no, I take your point. RP Singh, on the CCTV issue, basically it's been used to suggest that the EC is not being transparent. On top of that, the EC has now taken on the mantle, as Sanjeev Srivastava was saying, to, you know, do a word battle with political leaders, which doesn't behoove the institution of the ECI itself.
Sanjeev Srivastava is a very old friend and a very seasoned journalist also. We have worked together at a given time, and Sanjeev, I was shocked at your logic today. It's something like I tell someone that I saw Sanjeev Srivastava picking someone's pocket. So you'll feel, obviously you'll feel upset, because you are not the one who will ever do any such thing. Similarly, when you accuse the Election Commission of vote chori again and again without any documented evidence, obviously Election Commission is going to ask you, please, these are the certain set of rules. Under this set of rules, if you are going to accuse Election Commission of something, please file everything on affidavit and on oath. And if you are so confident about your any of your charges. So, but as Rahul Gandhi he is above law. He thinks he is entitled one. And Sanjeev Srivastava today, one who believes in democracy, is supporting the entitled one. That yes, he is above law. If he has said something, let Election Commission answer, and Election Commission give an answer on each and every issue. Now coming to my friend about Madhepura is talking about, please go to Dhule seat also sometime, understand the demography and the election result of Dhule seat, how we won the Dhule seat, we lost one assembly segment Malegaon by 1,94,000 votes, and we lost the seat. So we never made any hue and cry as part of the election process. But actual problem, Shivani, is that, again I repeat, it is a narrative being built up on behest of certain forces in India, and since they can't dislodge Prime Minister Modi through vote, that's why they are trying to build up a system of anarchism and unrest in country by accusing every constitutional body, whether it is Election Commission, whether it is army, questioning, and not only questioning, accusing constitutional bodies, whether it's army, whether it's Supreme Court.
Okay, I've run out of time. I do thank all of our guests for joining us. Certainly, we're going to be debating the vote chori issue furthermore, but I do wish that we do it on the basis of concrete facts that have been verified independently as well. Moving on, the Chinese Foreign Minister is on a two-day visit to India. Wang Yi held talks with External Affairs Minister Jaishankar yesterday and NSA Ajit Doval earlier today. He is also set to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi, a meeting seen as a precursor to Modi's upcoming visit to China for the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit in Tianjin. Now, this marks a significant diplomatic shift between the two countries, with his first visit to India in 3 years. The trip is coming at a crucial juncture for India-China relations, which have been slowly recovering from years of tensions following the Galwan Valley clashes in 2020. The visit also carries broader geopolitical implications. With India-US ties strained due to steep tariffs imposed by US President Donald Trump, New Delhi appears to be recalibrating its strategic posture. And here's why India and China need each other, why this engagement is key, despite the fact that both countries may not have great trust, at least India may not have great trust in China. The situation along the 3,000-kilometer border directly shapes India's defense spending strategic posture. So managing relations is critical for India's national security. China, on the other hand, also needs India because India is the only large Asian power that can counterbalance it in the Indo-Pacific. Let's also talk about the joint ventures with China, especially for manufacturing components. It's crucial to bring down input and component costs in India. India, on the other hand, offers a massive consumer market and a source of cheap labor which China may not want to lose access to. Experts suggest that if India wants its own electronics ecosystem similar to Apple, component suppliers, many of them Chinese, must be part of the equation. While for China, maintaining economic ties with India will help avoid over-dependence on Western markets. Major deals for Indian companies are held in limbo as they wait Chinese government approval in the wake of the strained ties. Over 100 Chinese companies have established offices or operations in India on the other side. Many Chinese state-owned companies have also won projects in India. Now, India's cumulative FDI into China since April 2000 till March 2025 was $2.5 billion. Meanwhile, Chinese investments to India in the year of 2023 was $60 million, and cumulative Chinese investments since 2015 in India are $3.2 billion till 2023. So both countries cannot really just walk away from each other, which is why India has been maintaining that there is a need for greater dialogue and a strategic partnership between these two countries that have had very strained relationships. Will this visit reset the India-China relationship? That's coming up with our guests.
The fight against terrorism in all its forms and manifestations is another major priority. I look forward to our exchange of views.
There has been an upward trend. Borders have been quiet. There has been peace and tranquility. Our bilateral engagements have been more substantial.
The setbacks we experienced in the past few years were not in the interests of the people of our two countries.
Let's go across to our guests. Ashok Sajjanhar, former Indian diplomat, and Einar Tangen, senior fellow of Tahe Institute, are joining us. Einar, I start with you. There has been a trust deficit between the two countries, but we seem to be moving on. We seem to be also be propelled because of the global situation right now, vis-a-vis US, Russia, and others. But do you think China will be willing to make a certain confidence-building gesture towards India? And if so, what could that be?
Well, I think it's already been established that there's going to be some help with rare earths, also with some technology, as well as fertilizers. And those are the three main issues. But in a much larger basis, I mean, there's a huge trade deficit, and that has to be addressed. China does not want to see an unequal partnership, and they're looking forward to figuring out ways in which this situation where the U.S. trade bullying can be reversed, possibly, I believe, through using BRICS. As an entity, it's much more powerful, 4 times as much manufacturing, the majority of people, 40% of the world's GDP, markets, resources, etc. If these 10 countries come together, and India is a potential leader given its history with the non-aligned movement, they could easily tell Donald Trump that the realities are that he needs to knock it off and stop with this kind of unilateral action.
And you think the growing closeness, if I can call it that, between India, China, Russia, China on their part as well, is going to send that message to US? Very quickly, Aina, before I go across to our other guests.
It's not just that. You also have to it's Brazil, it's South Africa, the 5 other countries that are now part of this 10-nation tour. Coming together is what is going to get Washington's attention. It's their greatest fear and therefore the greatest leverage.
Okay. Ashok Sajjanhar, is it going to be as simple as this? That because we've got, let's say, a common enemy in America, suddenly India, China are going to be able to be best friends again? Is it going to be that simple?
No, it's not going to be that simple. Shivani, thank you very much for having me on your show. Because I think we should, whatever we do, we should do with open eyes. There are very serious problems between India and China also. And they are not today's, they are not yesterday's, they have been there for the last 50 years. And the ball in most, if not all of them, is in China's court. So we would like to see some action from China happening before, there can be, of course, these issues, what your Chinese guest mentioned, rare earths and tunnel boring machines and fertilizers, etc. They're important. They are relevant. I'm not saying, I'm not, denying them. But there are other bigger and more serious issues also that need to be resolved, that need to be sorted out, or at least some steps need to be taken in that direction, in addition to just plain words. Just words will not suffice. We've seen words being bandied around. I think there has to be some action on a variety of issues, whether it is our, situation on the border. Of course, we need to have, these are two big countries, these are two big powers. There is, China today is, in nominal dollar terms, the second largest. India is the fourth largest, soon to become the third largest. And we have 3,000, as you said, 3,000 kilometers plus border, and that needs to be normal, tranquil, stable. So we need to have normal, stable relations. And let me also mention that this process, Shivani, started before Mr. Trump came in.
Yes,
Meaning it
sure.
started, you would recall, on October 21st, before the elections in the United States had taken place, when the BRICS summit took place in Russia. And for the first time after 5 years, Mr. Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Modi had a substantive meeting. So the process had started because both countries realized that it is in their mutual interest to have normal, stable relations. But taking it forward from there to have it, much stronger, I think we need much more action, principally from the Chinese side.
So, NR, on that respect, on that question of territorial claims, I think those have been the stickiest thorns as far as the relationship between the two countries is concerned. Do you expect at all that there will be a rethink from China on those claims?
Well, I mean, one of the big problems is that culturally, both countries have, and politically, they have their own narrative about what's happened in the past. Obviously, my colleague has presented what he believes are the complaints of India and said, what is China going to do about it? China would say the same thing. So I don't think that's productive to play the victim in this particular case. I think it has to go forward with some sort of things. Now, this is, I don't know why it's being couched as India and China together. India and China together are not going to change the U.S. Unless, of course, India believes that it can use its meeting in Beijing as some sort of leverage with Washington. The clear case here is that India needs to have an equal hand with the U.S. and stop being whipped by it. And the only way that that is going to occur is not just with China, but with all the rest of the BRICS countries.
Okay.
I don't understand the reticence I've been on many shows over the last few days, the reticence to discuss the obvious, that BRICS together can easily convince Washington to see rationality. The other issues are going to take time to do. I think there's goodwill on both sides. But the question is, what do you do now in this crisis moment when you're facing 50% tariffs and another 25% on Russian oil?
Okay. Possibly the reason for that is that none of these countries can completely cut away their ties from US either. So that standoffish position, because Trump already sees BRICS, Ashok Sajjanara, I have a minute, I'll give that to you. Trump already sees BRICS as a threat. So I don't think any of the countries are willing to take a very strong arm position of BRICS countries coming together in a standoffish position against America.
You're very right, Shivani. I think number one, that
yes, Ashok Sajjanara, go ahead.
You're very right, because, number one, many of the countries, they don't want to take direct positions against the United States. And also they have, very many of them have differences amongst themselves. We've been talking about India and China, and I think if my Chinese colleague, stops using words like complaints and all, these are not complaints. These are matters of fact. And if you have facts, you present alternate facts. But you don't have facts. That's why you say that these are complaints and all. These are not complaints. When two big countries talk to each other, they don't complain to each other. They are putting some issues across. And if you can do something about it, please do something about it. If you can't, you say, okay, that's a problem that continues to exist. The other aspect on the question of BRICS, as my Chinese colleague seems to be mentioning, India has very clearly stated, in our view, BRICS is non-Western body. It's a non-Western institution. It's not an anti-Western institution. Let us not convert it into an anti-Western institution. BRICS does not want a de-dollarization. India is not in favor de-dollarization because we do not have any other currency. So let us be very clear. And putting these 10 countries against the United States, it is an unrealistic proposition at the moment. So let us not try to flog it and bring it together. And, I could go country by country. Does Saudi Arabia want to present an anti-US or anti-Western? Does UAE want to present? China might wish to do it. Iran might wish to do it. Russia might wish to do it. But 10 countries of BRICS are not
willing to do it. In fact, even Russia is actually not taking as standoffish a position as these summits clearly show against US. Yes, Aina Tangan, you want to act for 30 seconds?
Yes. First off, Saudi Arabia has not signed on yet. You need to get your facts straight when you talk about them. And quite frankly, this idea that China doesn't have a story is nonsense. I'm an American. I'm not Chinese. That's also a fact you should look. But the fact is that unless it comes together, and Modi has already signaled, he said that he wants to do more transactions in rupees. And he's also called Lula and made it clear that he's open to some new ideas. So I don't know where you get your facts, but those are the ones that I know from
Okay. Ashok Sajanhar, very quickly, 30 seconds.
Yes, let's be clear on facts. India has stated umpteen number of times, no de-dollarization. We are willing to talk about trading in national currencies, which we've been doing for a long, long time. So I think if you are talking about facts, and as far as Saudi Arabia is concerned, the issue is still not resolved. It is not. It is true. I agree with you that it is not fully joined, but they have also not given away the invitation. I could go through the other 10 members, barring one or two like China and Iran. There are not other countries which want to stay away and, want to present a united anti-Western front to the West. It is Mr. Trump who is mistaken that it is an anti-Western organization. It is not. Let us not prove him right by making it an anti-Western organization.
All right. The bigger question, of course, with this visit, with the Prime Minister's visit for China slated soon for SEO, is whether Hindi Chini can be bye-bye again. Have we returned to that kind of period, and can we get to that kind of period again? But I'll leave it at that. I do thank both of our guests for joining us. We leave you with some relentless fury of nature over the last 4 days that has once again brought India's financial capital to a standstill. Mumbai reeling under a deluge as torrential rains lashed the city, flooding roads, halting trains and disrupting daily life for millions. With the monsoon showing no signs of letting up, water-clogged streets, traffic snarls have become the new normal for Mumbaikars. Emergency services are also stretched. Schools, colleges and other offices have been shut. The city's famed spirit, though, is being tested yet again. As many as 12 lives have already been lost across Maharashtra following the deluge. The worst hit area remains Mumbai. Some of the areas in Mumbai that experienced complete havoc include Sion, King's Circle, Chunabhati, Tilak Nagar and Andheri. Take a look at these reports that show you the extent of the problem.
मुंबई में लगातार बारिश हो रही है, इसके वजह से बहुत सारे इलाके में पानी भरना शुरू हुआ है। अभी हम लोग किंग सर्कल इलाके में हैं, यहाँ पे भी देख रहे हैं भारी बारिश की वजह से बहुत पानी भरा है और इसी पानी में से लोग जो है वो अपने जहाँ पे जाना है वहाँ पे जाने के लिए तैयार हुए हैं। यहाँ पे हम लोग देख रहे हैं ये जो पानी है वो नी तक है, इतना पानी यहाँ पे भरा हुआ है और गाड़ियाँ भी कुछ कुछ बंद पड़ी हुई दिखाई दे रही है। यहाँ पे जो पानी भरा हुआ है उसमें से ही गाड़ियाँ जा रही है और इसके वजह से ही जो गाड़ियों की मशीन्स होती है उसमें पानी जाता है और उसके बाद गाड़ियाँ बंद पड़ती है। अभी भी हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि इसी पानी में पंपिंग मशीन की गाड़ी भी है और पंपिंग मशीन की गाड़ी का जो टायर है वो भी पानी में गया हुआ दिखाई दे रहा है। इतनी बारिश हो रही है, इसके वजह से जो पानी है हम लोग को दिखाई दे रहा है। बट पंपिंग मशीन का काम ही होता है जो पानी भरा हुआ रहता है वो निकालना। यहाँ पे पंपिंग मशीन होने के बाद भी यहाँ पे बहुत सारी बारिश गिरने के बाद भी ये जो पानी है वो निकल नहीं रहा है, कम नहीं हो रहा है। जैसी स्थिति पहले कुछ देर पहले थी वैसे ही अभी भी दिखाई दे रही है। इसके लिए जो मुंबईकर है वो त्रस्त हो गए हैं और यहाँ पे हम लोग देख रहे हैं कुछ जो बच्चे हैं वो इसी पानी में से खेल रहे हैं, इस बारिश का आनंद लूट रहे हैं, ये भी देख रहे हैं। बट जो कर्मचारी होते हैं, जो ऑफिस के जाने वाले लोग होते हैं, उनको बहुत ज़्यादा तकलीफ होती है क्योंकि उनको भी इसी पानी में से जाना पड़ता है और ऑफिस का आज टाइम होता है, ट्यूसडे ऑफिस का जाने के लिए लोग निकलते हैं और उनको भी बहुत सारी दिक्कत का सामना करना पड़ता है। अभी हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि मुंबई में भारी बारिश गिर रही है। मुंबई में कहा गया है कि रेड अलर्ट है और रेड अलर्ट की वजह से जो आगे के कुछ घंटे हैं वो भी बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है क्योंकि तभी पता चलेगा और बारिश गिरने के बाद मुंबई की स्थिति क्या होती है, मुंबई के और इलाके में पानी भरता है कि नहीं, ये देखना बहुत ज़रूरी है।
Thanks a lot for watching Plain Speak from CNN News 18 Primetime Studio, presented by Schneider Electric's Smart Home Solutions.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Wang Yi, remember, is on a two-day visit for talks with his counterpart, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, that were held yesterday. He met with National Security Advisor Ajit Doval under the Special Representatives mechanism just a short while ago. He is expected to meet Prime Minister Modi later this evening. A broad agenda that included trade, connectivity, pilgrimages and river data sharing was discussed between the two foreign ministers. Jaishankar reiterated concerns previously raised during his visit to China in July, stressing the importance of avoiding restricted trade measures between the two major Asian economies. The Chinese Foreign Minister also underscored that as neighboring nations and major economies, there are various facets and dimensions to ties between India and China, and called for easing of roadblocks to enhance bilateral exchanges.
There has been an upward trend. Borders have been quiet. There have been peace and tranquility. Our bilateral engagements have been more substantial. And we are most grateful to our leaders who in Kazan in October last were able to set a new trend, and we have profited a lot since then. The new environment that has been created has helped us in moving ahead in the various areas that we were working on. I'm very hopeful that, like the last one, this 24th Special Representative level talks would be equally successful. Our Prime Minister will be visiting for the SCO summit shortly, and therefore I think that this SR level talks assume a very special.
The setbacks we experienced in the past few years were not in the interests of the people of our two countries. And then in October last year, President Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Modi had an important meeting in Kazan. That meeting pointed the direction for the development of our bilateral relations and provided impetus for the proper settlement of the boundary question. We identified specific goals and formed a working framework. We are heartened to see the stability that is now restored in the borders. The Chinese side attaches great importance to the Prime Minister's visit to China to attend the SCO summit at our invitation. We believe that the Indian side will also make your contribution to a successful summit in Tianjin. History and reality proves once again that a healthy and stable China-India relationship serves the fundamental and long-term interests of both of our countries. It is also what the developing countries all want to see. I am ready to work with you to build more consensus and identify the direction, the specific goals of the boundary consultations going forward and create more conditions for the improvement and further growth of our bilateral relations.
Siddhant now joins us for more inputs and perspective on this. Siddhant, as far as ties between India and China are concerned, they seem to be on a mend now, especially after the Galwan clashes. But what's important is that the focus remains on the border. During the meeting with Wang Yi yesterday, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar made it clear that disengagement is done, but de-escalation is required, and that's the need of the hour.
That's right. In fact, there were 3 Ds, Poonam, which were promised at the time of Kazan summit. And these 3 Ds are disengagement, de-escalation and de-induction. Now, disengagement is almost over. As far as de-escalation and de-induction, is concerned, perhaps there is very little progress, and this has been the concern of Indian side from a very, very long time. In fact, before this also, before the special representative level talks also, India did raise the issue of slow progress as far as a de-escalation and de-induction process is concerned. Perhaps at that point in time, India was told that such issues will be dealt at at special representative level talks. So now this is the 24th special representative talks which took place in New Delhi. In fact, Chinese have come up with a release also, Poonam, and this release says that to explore fair, reasonable and mutually acceptable solutions in accordance with the political guiding principles agreed upon in 2005 in the spirit of mutual respect and mutual understanding. At the same time, they will strengthen regular border management and control to jointly maintain peace and tranquility in the border area. The two sides agreed to hold the 25th special representative meeting next year in China. So this is a paragraph on the border management, Poonam. Also very important to highlight, Poonam, when Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh went to China in June to attend defense ministers meet. At that point in time also, when he met his Chinese counterpart, Chinese defense minister, perhaps he spoke about the permanent solution as far as a border issue is concerned. So somewhere India is looking for a permanent solution with China as far as border issue with China is concerned. And perhaps the main focus, in fact, yesterday also during the foreign ministers meet and today at the special representative level talk, the focus of India was the border issue. And as I said, that disengagement is done, but de-escalation and de-induction, there is a very little progress. So we are still awaiting release from the Indian side. Perhaps we could expect India to come up with a readout soon. So we'll get to know more, perhaps Indian version of these two meetings, and is there any key deliverables. Also, Poonam, very important to highlight, as you rightly said in the beginning, that Chinese have assured India of fertilizers, rare earth and tunnel boring machines, and what China want in exchange is investment flow. So there have been some restriction which Indian government came up with in some sectors as far as Chinese investments in India is concerned. So we could expect India to open up the market for the Chinese investments in some specific segments of manufacturing, renewable energy and consumer goods. So perhaps we could expect that to be the part of India's release. We are still awaiting.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Wang Yi, remember, is on a two-day visit for talks with his counterpart, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, that were held yesterday. He met with National Security Advisor Ajit Doval under the Special Representatives mechanism just a short while ago. He is expected to meet Prime Minister Modi later this evening. A broad agenda that included trade, connectivity, pilgrimages and river data sharing was discussed between the two foreign ministers. Jaishankar reiterated concerns previously raised during his visit to China in July, stressing the importance of avoiding restricted trade measures between the two major Asian economies. The Chinese foreign minister also underscored that as neighboring nations and major economies, there are various facets and dimensions to ties between India and China, and called for easing of roadblocks to enhance.
18 Primetime Studio, presented by Schneider Electric Smart Home Solutions.
Namaste, Jai Hind and welcome. You are on CNN News 18 and we are coming to you live from the CNN News 18 Primetime Studios presented by Schneider Electric Smart Home Solutions, and it's time for the right stand.
हिंदू का समझौता कितना अन्यायपूर्ण है.
That is the latest bit of news coming in of what the Prime Minister signaled.
नेहरू जी द्वारा किए गई बहुत बड़ी ब्लंडर.
जवाब दे नहीं पा रहे हैं, इसलिए पहले तो नेहरू जी की बात करेंगे, इंदिरा जी की बात करेंगे.
80% पानी पंडित नेहरू जी ने पाकिस्तान के लिए एग्री किया और 20% पानी सिर्फ भारत के लिए. इससे बड़ा धोखा क्या हो सकता है?
Parliament was never informed or taken into confidence before this treaty was signed.
Viewers, CNN News 18 Newsbreak is making the waves. After talking about Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of Bharat, his blunder in his Independence Day speech, Prime Minister Narendra Modi yet again raised this matter at the meeting of the NDA leadership. He said that the Indus Waters Treaty had caused unimaginable loss to Bharat's farmers. Well, it was CNN News 18's Aman Sharma who brought you the first insights on the story on Monday. Prime Minister told the MPs how the lopsided treaty was signed without even Parliament nod. Forget Parliament nod, it didn't even have cabinet approval. PM Modi reportedly blamed the Congress for IWT and said that he is tired of washing the sins of the Congress, and I'm quoting him here. The PM also alleged that former Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru surrendered 80% of the Indus River system's waters to Pakistan. A day earlier, News 18 had reported that on the 30th of November 1960, the Lok Sabha took up the IWT for discussions 2 months. 2 months after the IWT had been signed by Jawaharlal Nehru in Karachi. Now, it was short but very intense. The treaty reportedly had been signed without taking Parliament or opposition leaders into confidence, and by the time Parliament discussed the treaty, it was already ratified because it had been inked 2 months before this entire Lok Sabha debate in Parliament happened. Now, we are bringing you in detail what happened in 1960 when Parliament debated the Indus Waters Treaty. It was congressmen